feet on the dorsal side, just kind of holding on, checking, see what the rhythm feels like. Make sure your feet are open, shoulder width apart. And then for this one, if you have a hard time finding it on the dorsal side, you can come around, hold on to their heel or their Achilles. This table's a little tall for me. Yeah, same thing from last week. Her right leg is slightly behind her left leg. So theoretically, if it's a healthy client, nothing's wrong, everything should be in sync. But even so, even if everything's in sync, doesn't mean that they don't need the craniosacral treatment, or if they want it just because it's relaxing. Sometimes that is their preference over regular massage. So after you feel the rhythm there, you go up to the thighs. So place your hands here, just checking to see if everything is feeling good. Sometimes the rhythm might be off below, but then when you get above the waist, it might be good. Sometimes it might be bad down here. Sometimes it might be good down here, and then bad up here. It just depends on what they might be going through. Pelvic line is usually the cutoff because of the way the spine waves. Next one, you're going to go to the ASISs. Just hold on. Next listening station is the ribs. Did we do that in class?
Did the ribs.
Just kidding.
No, but you acted like you were
Okay.
doing it last week, and then you
Um,
stopped yourself.
This is what you actually learn if you do an upper ledger class. You have the ribs as a listening station, but it's harder to feel it here. So that's probably why we skip over it in this class, because of the lungs expanding.
I was gonna say probably because the breathing rate.
Yep.
You
It's
have
hard
all
to
those
find it.
rhythms as well.
And then the cardiac.
Be harder to find the actual differentiate the rhythm.
Yeah. So the next we have the shoulders. So hold on to the shoulders. After you felt it there, you're gonna go into the first hold, which is the headband. So you can go across like this, if your hands are big enough. If you feel uncomfortable holding your arm up that way, do fingers across. It's just the hand hold that I do.
Is your other hand just like?
It's just sitting like this.
Okay,
across the
I
cranial.
didn't. Okay,
Were you not here last week?
Nope.
Okay.
that's why I was definitely on both. You know,
Like, you weren't here either. You weren't here. So it's just holding the cranial bone in your palm.
Okay.
So straight across. I keep my thumb out, but you can put your thumb under if you want to. It's kind of, the movement you should feel is the head expanding this way.
Can you ever feel this on your own?
On myself?
In your own body?
I can when someone's working on me. I know that some people can feel it just because. I can't. But if someone's working on me, I immediately tune into what they're feeling. I feel the releases in my body, all the stuff going on.
I've also felt it when receiving acupuncture coming.
Yes.
It's pretty obvious.
Yep. I've never had acupuncture, but I have felt it when I'm getting cupped.
Where do you feel it?
Oh, you just feel your head throbbing and your spine just like a wave moving up and down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Yeah. And the wave moving up and down the spine reminds me of contractions. So if you've had a baby without an epidural, reminds me of that.
Contractions with an epidural. What are you talking about?
I don't know if that feels like.
And that's not the fluid going up and down your.
It is.
Oh,
The craniosacral rhythm is the fluid filling up the meninges and then
Okay.
flushing down the dural tooth, the spinal. So yeah, you should feel it coming out and up. Next hand hold is the one where we're going to go across like this. So finger slightly on the ear, one finger on the temple, other two are wrapped around occiput, thumbs are resting on top of the varietals. Jonah's body immediately drops down very easily. When we're doing this one, this is what the rhythm you should be feeling. So it's coming up and out, and then going back in. So you just kind of hold on.
That's the one you said, your client that had the.
Yes. Yeah, the tumor. So even when I was doing the occipital release, so holding under here, the therapeutic pulse kept pulsing back there.
So, but it's stronger, does that mean like you said, you felt a slight difference in her injured leg?
Yeah.
If it's more recent or more acute, is it stronger?
I don't think so. I think maybe just depending on what kind of trauma that part of the tissue experienced. And I think everyone's different, you know, but when it comes to like emotional trauma and how we sit it sometimes in our body and how certain traumas show up as chronic back pain, I think it just depends on how we store it, you know, or even maybe how in tune you are with your body. And then the third one is that's the whole, so the same one from the body bends. I'm like, what did we do? So then next we had the CV4, so the volleyball hole. We go back into that. So you come all the way under. Make sure that they're resting on your thenar eminences. And you're just waiting to feel the tissue shift and move around. This is inducing a still point. When I was talking about that earlier. So we're stopping the occipital bone from doing its movement. And by doing that, it's causing the reset. Who said that earlier? Which one of you guys called it a reset? Yeah, a reset in the craniosacral system.
Wouldn't you want to do that at first? The first thing you do, if it's a reset?
Yes, so this is the first thing, because everything else is just listening. I was going through the listening stations to see what the body feels like, and then the head holds are all listening stations.
Okay.
So just seeing how the rhythm's going, if the bones are moving properly, if I feel any stagnation or any kind of tension within the fascial body, and then I come and I induce a still point. So I don't always do CV4. There's other still points that you can do. I do one down at the thighs.
Okay.
So
this is the first hold that actually shifts bones.
Yes.
That you do.
So it's pausing craniosacral rhythm, letting everything kind of move around, see if the fascia releases any tension on its own before you get into actually working on them.
She has finger twitches.
Yeah, and her body's been moving a lot, and her breathing got really deep. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember how we learned it, and then what I actually do. Yeah, her feet are twitching and moving around. Next, I showed you guys the full platform. So you come out of the CV4, you do the occipital hold again, kind of let the tissue warm up. So you're just holding on to the occipital bone, and then you come in and do full platform. So you bring them up on your fingertips. You can't see it from her hair, but she's lifted completely out of my hands, and you let the heat from your fingertips melt into her muscle. You can see her slowly relaxing down until the occipital bone sits down into your palms. She has therapeutic pulse again on her left side of her, right below her nuchal line. You falling asleep? This is boring? Is it boring?
No, it's just like it's so relaxing that you're just like.
I almost fell asleep a couple of times.
Yep, see, she gets it.
Hi, niece.
Like I'm not bored. I just like feel so relaxed watching Joanna.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's
Plus,
good at,
we all, I mean, bunch
relaxing.
of
Lots of
tables
coffee.
around, yeah, so.
But then you have to be watching, like you can't really drink a lot of coffee, because then you're gonna be jittery. So
Which I felt that in myself. I had an extra shot in my coffee. Because I was tired. I know. I'm always tired there. You know, yeah, me. I'm always tired. My youngest daughter woke up in the middle of the night last night and said she had a nightmare. I don't remember what she was talking about, but I said something like I was a classroom coach. I told her that it's okay, you can retake the test. She got so mad. She's 7. She's like, you're not even listening to me.
That's exactly how they say it.
Yeah, just like that too.
I was like, I have no idea why that came out.
Say what?
You're probably
It's
tired
just
too.
ingrained in you right now.
It's, yeah.
So
To the-
I think I was
with
thinking
the-
about
Oh,
coming in
that's
here.
how the
Yeah.
kids
Yeah.
say it.
Mia. So cute.
Wait, kids?
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like clients.
Ezra
Yeah.
does it. My oldest boy does it to me all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
But
well,
why,
like, I
uh,
know I'm studying right now.
Please,
You know I am.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I have a cat.
I got one of
You
those.
get a different. You went meow.
You close the bathroom door, you're in there by yourself. They're so upset.
How dare you?
Yeah. They're
Oh no,
creepy.
doors don't shut. My house.
Okay.
Never shut
Next
them.
we did the sacral.
There's no going to
If
the
so, she
bathroom
just
by
opens them.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
show the hard one, and then I'll show the one that I do. So you bring their knee up. Remember, you're gonna hook around their knee. Use your elbow to help lift them up. This table is really tall for me. And then you lift them up. Come under. Hand goes right on the sacrum. You bring them down. And then bring leg back down. Come out of their space. Kind of sit in. Let the heat of your hand and the compression of the gravity of their body relax the sacrum. Come into. Did I show you guys this?
Isn't
The
this-
L5? Okay.
This is the one where you twist it over, right?
Yes. Yeah. I can't get my. I think I went under the sheet. That's why. So come into L5. Ease kind of traction them apart.
I don't think you showed this one.
I didn't show this.
No, actually, no.
Okay, I lied.
It was.
Don't do that.
No.
That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking.
Oh, it was
going
the
under
S-
and then
SI.
holding up.
Okay. That's the first step if you guys take these classes more. So you traction the L5 and then you release and then you come into the ASIS.
Yeah.
So 2 hands come across and you
Yes,
compress
that's
them
what you
together.
showed us.
Yeah. Okay. We're skipping steps, so I'm like going through the full thing.
I know, so.
That's alright. They showed us that one earlier anyway, because that's
Did
Yeah.
Erica do it?
yeah, that's what
Okay.
Erica was doing anyway. So
Okay.
I mean,
So yeah, you can press them
Is
together.
that what she did?
yeah.
Jumbling together right now.
If you guys have a hard time doing this move, you can use one of your hands and then just place the client's hand on their other ASIS. They don't have to do anything, they just have to sit it there. When you compress this over, it automatically helps. And then you just let the sacrum release and drop down into your hand. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it kind of shifts down depending on if they have any kind of tension in there.
Are you just compressing?
Yep, compressing the ASIS. C's. And the sacrum sits in the ligaments as a hammock. And so once those ligaments release from the pelvic bone being compressed, it just drops down. Once it drops down, you do traction. I just did it. You can't see that I did it, but it's just a slight movement back. So the 5 grams of pressure, you just pull it back, and through this, you're tractioning the dural tube. So in the full thing, you would traction the dural tube from the top and from the bottom. This also just depends on the person, how long this is going to take. Once you get really good at it and just sensitive to the touch, you can feel the difference in the dural tube. It's kind of like a, this is why I don't like doing this, it hurts my hands. It's like a rubber band. So you feel the tension. And if it stops at a certain place, like if they have tension along their spine, you can feel that. You just kind of keep holding on until it releases and then it goes all the way up.
Okay.
So then to get out of it, you're gonna bring client's knee back up. Same thing. Keep your hand here, hook your elbow, raise them up, bring your hand out, back down. To do it the easier way, I'm gonna grab my stool. Come in from the side. But like I said, going in from the side, it does create that unevenness. So coming in this way, it sits perfectly in your hand. But you come in from the side, just slide under. And you would do the same thing. So compress the ASISs, let everything drop down. To traction, you just kind of lean over. Then I'm gonna keep my hand here because next we have the sacral rocking. One hand comes around the occipital, other hand stays on the sacrum. Kind of hold on, feel the rhythm, and then we're gonna rock out. So I'll show you guys. I'll bring my hands out and show you the movement. But you're pulling that way and this way at the same time. Hold it for a 3-second count. Release, let the rhythm move on its own back towards the center, the midline. And you're gonna hold it for slow 1, 2, 3. Then release. This is not a reset, but it's extending the craniosacral rhythm.
Confused for a second because I thought that was her hand. I'm like, instead of it being
Still
Jimmy's.
doing it, step by step, or we just gonna flow off to it?
On your own, I'll coach you guys through it. I'll say like next thing. So then after you've done the rocking, you do the gliding. So we're gonna glide this way. So 3 count and then glide that way. So this is just gliding the dural tube, releasing any kind of restrictions there might be in there. This is the last thing I showed you guys last week. Okay.
I think so.
What's a typical session time? Does it vary or is it like an hour?
It varies on the person. Always at least an hour. You have a lot of releasing in your occipital bone. You get like headaches or anything?
No, I just have, I had a lot of injuries, so, and I don't get this type of work done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, at least an hour. I know you can do like 90 minutes, like Joanna said she had that 90-minute session. All of mine are scheduled at an hour, but for where I work at, I get 45 minutes between clients. So if I need to go over, I can. It's not a big deal, but it's always at least an hour. I've never been under an hour.
Charge by the minute or how does that work?
I charge by the session.
That's what I do.
Yeah, if I don't go, I don't charge them more if I go over. It just means they needed more work. For a CST session with me, it's 120. So charge them just flat 120. Do the work that I need to do. I think also, it depends on you, but I do this because I like helping people, and I don't want to charge them more. Just because they need a little bit more help, I just charge them by what they came for. But also, like where I work at, we don't charge more for cuffing or anything like that. Kinesio taping. It's just I provide it if they need it. You had a jerk in your sacrum too. Alright, so that was the last thing I showed you guys. I'm gonna come out. So typically, I'll run you guys through it when we get on the tables, but I start with the listening stations. I go into CV4. I come into the diaphragmatic releases. And then I do the full platform. And then I would traction the dural tube. Let that go. Come down to the sacrum. Do the releases here. Traction the dural tube. Let that go. Do the rocking. And then come in and start working on the bony prominences of the skull. Does that make sense?
Don't we do something right after the rocking? Like we go inward or something?
Yeah, so we did, this is the rocking.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do the gliding. That was
Okay.
it. I think that's everything from last week. Is there anything on this? Okay.